Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Light the Torch Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Jones, and I got my boys with me. We got Blackie Chan to my left, my man Gunner to my right, Tyler down the bottom left, and my guy Raul. So what's up to the fam?
What's up, everyone?
Fight on.
All right, let's get into it, fellas. We are going to preview the Stanford Cardinal versus the USC Trojans. And let's see, let's go ahead and kick off this preview, man. What you guys thinking so far? Easy day, easy work.
Yep,
absolutely.
Conference play, fellas.
Yep, a little bit about Stanford, man. We got head coach Troy Taylor over there, coming from Sac State. Totally revamped offense, totally different look for those guys over there. Some notable Trojans over there on that staff as well. And let Raul go ahead and give you guys a little bit of our history with Stanford.
So I'll give you guys a brief rundown on the all-time USC versus Stanford history. So it's been a total of the series started in 1905, so it's been over 100 years of tradition there. 101 total games. USC lost the first game, but seems like we went in a pretty good run, fellas. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's fair to say.
So USC leads the all-time series at 63 wins, 34 losses, and I guess three ties. Largest, yeah. So I'm telling you, we made a good comeback after losing that first game, I think. So largest victory is 49-0 USC. Longest winning streak is USC at 12. Largest unbeaten streak, so USC at 15, and then the current winning streak is at a whopping 1. So we got to go on a good run again. I think it'll be 2-0 this Saturday.
Just a heads up, people do consider this a rivalry game. I would say you guys probably remember the Pete Carroll days, the what's your deal situation up there with him and Harbaugh in his first defense. Yeah. Yeah, so
we gotta close this out really strong.
Exactly.
It could be the last time in a long time before we play them.
Yep. Stanford always seems to bring it when they play us, man. So despite what they look like against Hawaii, I do expect them to somehow pull something out, pull a little better performance out, because they seem to do that every year against us.
And this is a true rivalry game to an extent. Tradition, not the Zeros. I don't know. What do you guys think? That you guys are a rival. You guys aren't. So
I feel like they became more of a real rival towards when we had that huge upset against us that kind of knocked us out of the national title. Well, that was in like 2006, 2007 when we had I think that was with John David Booty.
Mm-hmm. Is that when they had Toby Gerhart?
I think it was before Toby Gerhart, maybe, or maybe it was his freshman year. But I do recall we were like a huge favorite, and they came in and they beat us 19-17 or something like that. I can't recall. It was a close game, but they beat us, and that's kind of when they started to build momentum when it came to this, at least what I recall as their rivalry. So
they got the Andrew Luck days as well with Christian McCaffrey. That's when Stanford was solid at football.
Absolutely.
I think maybe even before that, Toby Gerhart was.
Yeah, Toby Gerhart, he was a beast, man. He was a beast. I loved watching him and now Coach Taylor Mays go at it, man. That was good times, man.
Yeah.
This is the time where we need our guy Rick Anaya, man. He can tell you everything about everybody. He'll tell you verbatim how the whole game went, play for play. Shout out to Rick, man, if you're watching. But yeah. So, what you guys thinking, fellas? What do you guys expect from our offense? What are our offensive expectations, man? Let's kick this thing off.
Go ahead, Gunner.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, pretty much my expectations for offense is a clean game with the O-line. The team normally sends 4 people. They have a good front 7, but they normally don't blitz. So I don't anticipate any confusion for the O-line and stuff like that. They stun a little bit from what I understand, but shouldn't be major confusion. Expecting a 50 burger still. I mean, the DBs won't be able to cover. We'll be effective in the run game against this front regardless. And I anticipate, Miller Moss time towards the end of the third quarter, if not sooner.
Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, for Stanford defensively, just got to keep Dave Bailey out of the backfield. 3 sacks against Hawaii, so not necessarily the same type of, talent level, of course, but got to keep him out of the backfield. If Caleb can set his feet, obviously he's very good when he gets to improvise in the backfield. Obviously, he's incredibly talented. Definitely not going to debate that. But when he can set his feet and just sit there all day, he's going to just tear defenses apart. He's deadly accurate and can, find guys in tiny little holes that way. So, interested to see, this is the best team that we're going to see so far. It's not really saying much at this point. But yeah, I mean, offensively, I don't think that we're going to have a lot of issues. I think Austin Jones is going to get some of his old teammates back. It seems to be a recurring theme. Probably let him eat a little bit more and give him some opportunities to be able to get in the end zone against his old team. When we played them last year, we put up 35 in the first half, and that game looked like it was out of hand pretty early. And the offense fell asleep in the second half. We only scored 1 touchdown in the second half, and it got real close towards the end of the game. They were within 2 scores going into the fourth quarter. So I would like for it to not be that case this time. But I'll reserve the prediction for later.
Bro, you want to give it a shot?
I'm not too sure what to expect through the offense. Obviously, the offense is going to be great, in my opinion. That's a given. I'm just going to be focusing on the O-line as well to see how they handle David Bailey. Like Tyler mentioned, he had 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss last week, and a total of like 6 or 7 tackles. So I'm just curious to see how the O-line stands there. And then what I do want to see from the offense, see if it's a more balanced attack. Instead of being pass heavy, hopefully they can implement the running backs a little bit more, allowing the defense to get a little breather. Part of the reason why sometimes our defense gives up a little bit more points is because of how elite our offense is, and we kind of score quickly and then they're back on the field. So I just want to see a more balanced attack and see if Marshawn Lloyd and Austin Jones goes off on, maybe get a 100-yard rusher. I think one of you guys mentioned it's been a while since we've gotten a 100-yard rusher, right?
Right. Yep.
So,
we did mention that last game, I believe. Yep. Blackie Chan, what you got for us?
I'm mainly worried about David Bailey. Easily, he was constantly in the backfield against Hawaii, but Hawaii's offensive line wasn't even really that big or fast, so I wasn't surprised by that. Hawaii, even with their offensive line not being able to block David Bailey, they still put up 55 yards on the through the air. They had 3 touchdowns with their quarterback. So honestly, I'm not too worried about their defense just besides David Bailey. Like, their linebackers look slow. I don't think they'll be able to keep up with our skill positions like they couldn't do last year. That 1 touchdown that we had in the second half was kind of a theme for our offense. Pretty much all of last year, like, we would kind of take the pedal, we kind of ease off the pedal. So at this point, I just expect that with the whole situation with the time clock, we're not going to take the foot off the pedal. So not too worried about it. Just block David Bailey. I expect to not see too much rotation with the offensive line. I think they have a solid idea of who they want as their starters. So, and I expect Caleb to finally get a 100-yard receiver, and I think Marshawn's going to go for 120 on the ground, maybe a touchdown.
Okay.
Like, I think we can run all over Hawaii as well, or I mean not Hawaii, Stanford, because they looked pretty small on the defensive line as well.
Yep. That's. I mean, I agree. I think our O-line is going to have their way. You know, I think we're going to make some massive holes for whether it's Austin Jones or Marshawn Lloyd. They're going to have a good day. It might be both. I think I expect Marshawn Lloyd to have 150 plus all-purpose for sure. You know, he's a great pass catcher, and their secondary is just atrocious. It's not what we were used to seeing. You know, I was like with the Paulson, the Debos, and all those guys at Stanford. Stanford used to put out a pretty good secondary, but all those guys are going to the NFL, and they lost a lot of guys to the portal. And their secondary is not looking like the Stanford secondary that we used to seeing in recent years past. So I expect us to. Well, there's no secondary in the nation that can do anything with our receivers. We have the best receiving core in the nation. I don't care what you Ohio State fans say. Yeah, your receivers haven't proven it yet. So, yeah. So therefore, we'll take that title gladly. And I expect them to go and show it. We'll get into player of the game predictions later on, so I won't tip my hand. But yeah, man, I don't expect them to really do much of anything on defense. We only have one guy to worry about. That's pretty easy, you know. And we have some great, you know, Marshawn Lloyd is great at pass blocking. So if they do get around our tackles, I'm not worried about it at all. Marshawn has proven that he can go pick up some blocks. So I'm not worried about him at all. So with that being said, we're going to move into our defensive expectations. Second quarter. Go ahead and kick it off, Gunner. What you got for our defense?
Yeah, so I expect the team to be aware and not caught off guard with the various formations and movements that's going to be thrown at us. Taylor likes to do that. From last game, they mostly did spread, but sometimes they do like a wing T formation and some other ones, you know, thrown in there. So I anticipate them to be aware of that. Front sevens is going to be too physical and fast for Stanford. And I honestly do expect an INT for Kalen. I think this is a perfect game for him to snag one. So those are my defensive expectations.
Bro.
Defensively, I think our front seven are going to continue to do their thing, apply a lot of pressure. I'm thinking they're going to get to the quarterback a lot this game. I'm predicting a Bear Alexander first sack of the year. So we'll see what happens. That's what I believe. I'm just curious to see. They run a similar offense right to like Utah, at least with the tight end going off of last game. I think their tight end had like 9 catches. Let's see, I think 9 catches, 138 yards, and a TD. He's a pretty big guy, 6'4". They have another tall wide receiver, John Humphreys, at 6'5". So I'm just curious to see who guards the tight end. Wondering if it'll be Domani or someone else. I'm not sure if not Domani, but Gentry. See if they put Gentry on the tight end. See how it goes. But that's what I'm expecting from the defense, that they're going to continue to do their thing and, you know, not allow a lot of points. So probably keep it under 20.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Tyler. What you got?
Yeah. X factor is going to be guarding the tight end. This is a watered down version of what we saw from Utah last year, with Benjamin Urasek being kind of that big tight end. And I think Christian Roland Wallace will probably get the first shot at him in that nickel spot. Curious to see if Mason Cobb and Eric Gentry get any reps this week. Maybe they're, you know, just trying to be cautious with them. Hopefully get to see them out there. Obviously, you know, they're X factors on the defense, but I think Corey Foreman's getting his first sack at the end of the game this week, getting off the schneid for the career. So he looked different last time out there, and I think he's starting to show that burst. He's going to get himself into the rotation at some point. Probably be that, number 2 type guy on one of the ends. And I think he's going to get his first sack this week.
Who is this Tyler?
I am
another Tyler that we know.
I'm a Corey Foreman fan now.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Hey, I agree with you, man. So I'm hoping for the same, man. Go ahead, Blackie Chan.
So the main fear is what's his name? Urasek. Like, tight ends, they are the new running quarterback for us. They hurt us. So as long as we can contain them, jam them on the line, do something, stack someone on top, like jam him, and then like jam him with Eric Gentry, use Gentry to spy the quarterback if he plays, and then have hopefully Zion maybe over top of him, someone that's physical and that can match him at least similar to size. Like I love you, Max, but we need someone that can stand toe to toe with him without having to jump up there with him to like take him down, because he's going to win that 50-50 ball. Honestly, I think that's personally from what I've seen from the past few times we've had him on tight ends. They always win the 50-50 ball over him. But I expect Bear to, because Bear right now, from what I've seen, it is he's leading the nation in quarterback pressures. He's not leading sacks, but he's pressuring them. Like the offensive line for Stanford. Granted, Hawaii's offensive line or defensive line looked like they all weighed like 230 pounds each. Like they were not getting any pressure onto who's their quarterback, Daniels. They weren't getting any pressure. Like he was sitting back there, like Caleb Williams back there. Like they made him look like he can be protected. So I was looking at their offensive line. They are averaging 300 pounds. So there are some big guys. They're probably the bigger line that we've faced so far. Not surprised, because they know how to recruit offensive line. So as long as we could not get pushed back and push back into Daniels, he's not going to be comfortable back there. They do like to run that QB sweep, so we'll have to contain and make sure we cut them back inside towards the linebackers. If we can cut off the side, then we're good. I don't know if they really showed any if they've stacked the line to the what is it called when they overcrowd the left side or the right side? I forgot what it's called, but where they would have like 2 tight ends on one side and 2 tackles or whatever. I don't think they've shown that like David used to do.
So.
Yeah, because he used to overload the sides. So
yeah, those days are over. I think they use their wing T for those situations.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping that we can contain the QB run and just contain the wide receivers, because I'm not threatened by EJ Smith. He's kind of like how Vavai is for Stanford. Like he's a good overall back, but nothing sets him apart from the backs that they've had before with Toby Gerhart, Christian McCaffrey. Who is the other one before Christian? I can't remember his name, but like I'm not scared of his speed. I think we're just an overall faster team than them. So,
yep, I agree. I'll pick up where you left off. Yeah, overall talent for talent. I mean, the meter shakes our way, of course, but their offensive line, they're big dudes, but their feet are not that quick. So they're gonna struggle against guys like Bear, who's super explosive. Keon Bars, I expect them to wreak havoc up the middle, man. So last game we didn't really get to see how Ashton Daniels handles pressure, and we're gonna find out. And I think they're gonna find out, for themselves. So I expect them to see him leaking out a lot, when they do pass. Being that they really didn't show much running game last game. So if they're gonna be that one-dimensional, odds are in our favor, man. I'm not sure if Gentry is playing or not. Did anybody get a injury update?
He's been practicing he's been full pads, but I don't think
just questionable. Both
Yeah.
of them, him and Cobb.
Okay, yeah, they're
But
probably limited.
we all know he's not going to tell us.
Yeah, of course. And he plays injuries tight to the lip, so in which I get. But I expect to see our veterans play more, just because the different sets that Stanford runs, they like to do a lot of motions, a lot of trickery pre-snap, and I don't know if our young guys, their eyes are ready to handle that. So our young guys like Tackett Curtis, who won't be playing till the second half anyway, but Tackett Curtis and Zion, I don't anticipate them seeing the field too much because of that, But yeah, I think we'll go with a more veteran lineup this game, at least for the start of the game, and we'll see what happens there.
So, Bryce Love.
Bryce Love, there you go.
That's what I was thinking.
There you go. I can't think of his name. He's good, man. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I got for our defense, man. I expect to see our veteran guys at least start the game off, and hopefully we get out there, get that lead, and get the younger guys in there so they can get their eyes trained too, man, because they're gonna have to experience that at some point.
I honestly don't think that they won't pull Caleb until the fourth quarter. I think that he's going to try to – they want to get all the ones in there, getting the reps at this point. It's no longer preseason right now. This is time for all the ones to be getting their what is called their mojo together, their sync up with each other. This is going to be the time that they start to gel together.
Yep, we're in conference play, man. Playtime is over. So,
and now I think Caleb's going to go off on throwing the ball.
Yep,
even more.
Yep, I expect that too. I expect to see a lot of things that we haven't seen this far. Up to this point. I think Lincoln will go and get in his bag a little bit more this game, get a little more creative with the play calling. But that's going to bring us to halftime. Anybody got any halftime notes? Anything worth noting?
Nothing on my end.
All right. Well, halftime's over. Let's get back on this field, man. The third quarter. Give me your player of the game predictions, man.
Oh.
Keys of the game or player of the game? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Keys of the game. I'm getting ahead of myself.
You're good.
Keys of the game.
Good. So, yeah, keys of the game, keep Caleb clean, contain the tight end for Stanford. I think we're going to start off with CRW, but I could see us kind of, rotating, maybe, putting Domani on there once, maybe even putting Kalen on there once. So I think just to kind of confuse them a little bit, see what it looks like, and then just continue to have that front seven pressure that we've been seeing so far in the first two games. So those are my keys.
Roll.
You're on mute.
Yes, same with Gunner. Keeping Caleb clean, having the O-line, keep their ground, about preventing Bailey from penetrating, and then just like you mentioned, also keeping the tight ends, the wide receivers contained, making sure that they don't get big plays, and then defensively as well, just keep it simple as well. I think our players are that much better. There's no need to get tricky and overthink stuff. Just keeping it simple.
Yep. All right, Tyler.
Yeah, the biggest thing defensively is making sure that we're in good spots to be able to keep these guys in front of us. Troy Taylor's got some pretty unique schemes, not necessarily so vanilla like we've seen the last couple games, where you've got a somewhat mobile quarterback that can get out and try to run. Like, he's going to try to confuse the defense with the types of lineups and formations and stuff that he throws out there. And it'll be a new challenge for the defense to make sure that a unit that's been kind of mashed together with some different transfers on different parts of the team and on the defensive side of the ball, making sure that all those guys are able to communicate, be in the right spots, be able to give ourselves a chance to to still be dominant like we were last time when we went out there to play defense. Offensively, want to see Austin Jones get over the century mark against his old team, and or our boy Megahead getting back there too. Marshawn Lloyd, for anybody who hasn't seen Caleb calling him a Megahead yet.
Mega
make
Mind.
sure that
Mega Mind.
I thought it was Megahead.
Did he say Megahead or Mega Mind?
I think it was Mega Mind because they were talking about that one
Two,
show.
All right.
Hilarious.
Okay.
Them in the head.
I butchered the joke. So Mega Mind. That guy's got a big dome. I got a big dome too. So Marshawn, it's all love, man.
Like you said.
Keys to the game for our offense. Block David Bailey. Keep him away from Caleb. He should not be sniffing him. He should not be breathing the same air as him. Keep him away from him. And then, honestly, I know I just said that Caleb's going to throw the ball a lot, but I think we should control the clock. Try to control it as much as possible. Keep them off the field by running it. It would be nice to see 2 100-yard rushers with Marshawn and Austin. And but I just think that we need to stay on the field more. And then when it comes to the defense, I think we need to get them into like 3rd and longs really quick. Like, don't let them get quick chunk yards or like get 5-yard runs or even a quick dump off pass to I can't say his name, Urasek. Like, we need to make sure that he does not get off the line clean at all. If he gets off the line clean, then they're easily just going to dump it off to him for a quick 5-yard, and he's going to lean forward and make that into an 8-yard gain really easily. So we just need to make life hard for him to not be able to get off the line without getting some kind of hands on him. Other than that, and I think Branch is going to do another special teams play.
Okay, you calling it right now?
Punt return.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to kick it his way. Yeah, I think they watched enough film to know not to kick it his way, man. He might not see one for a while.
No, people will be like, we can hold him.
So I hope they do. I hope Colorado or somebody gets that bowl. But yeah, we'll get into that later. But yeah, my offensive keys, man. Simple. Just keep Caleb upright. That's it. Just maintain. You don't worry about. Go ahead and handle your business against David Bailey, and that's it. The rest is already taken care of, man. The secondary is trash. They're not great run stoppers, so we should be able to have our way as far as offense, man. Just keep Caleb clean, and we're fine. Defensively, like I'm piggyback off what you're saying, Blacky Chan. Just that dude, Urasek should be molested every play. should be harassed every play, man. If you get hands on them every play, I think we'll be all right, man. Because they're pretty one-dimensional, man. But if you handle that, and their running game ain't worth nothing, so we should be just fine, man. So that's it's really short and simple keys. We should have our way with this team.
I just want to preference that he doesn't really mean molested.
Well, I don't know, man. These days, these kids, but I digress.
We got to make sure we do not mean that.
No, yeah, we don't mean that, no. But yeah, that's all I got for keys to the game, man. So we're going to move into the fourth quarter. Give me your player of the game predictions, offense and defense.
Perfect. Yeah. So for offense, Caleb, I think he's going to get at least 4 touchdowns, probably 5. He's offensive player of the game. And then I kind of mentioned it earlier, but Kalen's going to get the INT, so I give him as defensive player of the game.
Okay. Raul, who you got?
I'll save Caleb for another game. That's more going to be more meaningful. I think Caleb's going to go off, obviously, but I'm gonna go with Marshawn Lloyd. I think he's going to have a big game. He's going to break the century mark, maybe score 1 or 2 touchdowns. That's offensively, and then defensively, I'm gonna go with Bear Alexander. I think he's going to eat this week, and I'm predicting at least 1 sack. So, and obviously, he's going to keep doing his thing and penetrating, opening the gaps for everyone else.
All right, Tyler, what you got?
Defensively, I'm gonna say that Rayshawn Davis continues to earn his spot. I think with a lot of movement, a lot of different types of sets that they're going to see, that Rayshawn's going to have a lot of opportunities again. I think he's going to make the most of it. That guy is extremely talented, and I'm going to keep banging the drum, making sure that Lincoln keeps watching our notes and making sure that guy gets to keep getting the reps. Offensively, I think Dorian Singer's going to have his first big game. He's been relatively quiet the first 2 games. He's had a touchdown and then had that big play that the Pac-12 did a fantastic job getting the camera on. That would have definitely been like a top 10 play on SportsCenter if the Pac-12 could actually, do some decent work with the camera. But I think he'll have 2 touchdowns, and I think he gets like $150 this weekend. So it's going to be a big weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to have to piggyback off of Raul. Bear Alexander, he may not have like the stats with the tackles, but he's gonna make his presence known again. Like this man, he's gonna show why he was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school, and he's gonna show why Georgia fans were mad that he was leaving to come to USC. He's going to prove his, I wouldn't say worth because we already know his worth, but he's going to be the factor consistently in our defensive scheme. So I'm going to give it to Bear. I hope he gets his first sack. I really do. But either way, he's just going to make the backfield his home. He's going to be living in their backfield, and he's going to be making Daniel's lives really quick because he's going to be throwing that ball really fast or getting sacked. One of those. EJ Smith is not going to be comfortable back there. So Bear for defense. For offense, I don't know for offense because no one has really been consistent besides Caleb Williams. Like, it's like no one's had like consecutive plays that are just like when you need him, he's there. Like all of them have just been showing up really. So it's kind of hard to pick out of all the receivers, but I'm going to go with my boy Brandon Rice. I'm going to go with the Brandon. So I'm hoping he shows
always
up.
A good, always a good idea to go to Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, one thing.
What's
Caleb's
up?
going to get his first rushing touchdown of the season.
Okay. I can definitely see that. All right. So my defensive pick. I'm going to actually go against you guys, Raul, and for that very reason. Bear, I think at this point, teams, they get it.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to double team him, which is going to leave. I think it's going to, leave more room for my guy, Jamil Hamid, man. I think Jamil's going to have a multiple sack game. I think he'll have like 2+ this game. So I'm going to roll with Jamil, the player of the game. But definitely an honorable mention with Bear because he's going to be doing like he always does, just beating the crap out the offensive line. And they're going to, they're going to have to double team. So I'm going to roll with Jamil for my defensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, I'm going to give it to I might have to go against what you guys said again. We do have one consistent player, man, who's always been consistent. Taj Washington.
Yeah.
He's been the most consistent this year up to this point. I expect him to have another. Yeah, expect him to have a big game. There won't be as much rotation, so I expect to see him on the field a little more. And I think he'll have over 100 yards for sure this game. So those are my picks.
I can see that, yeah.
But you guys want to go special teams before we head in overtime? Special teams for maybe play predictions. I mean, I know you guys already expect Zach to run one back.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Yeah, pretty much
Wait.
that.
You think he'll get multiple? Let's just do that. Over under two returns.
He'll get a return on punt and a long kickoff return.
I'm gonna say one.
One. All right. How many touchdowns does he have? Does he finish with this game?
Okay, I'll say 2 total. One receiving, one special teams.
That's fair. Anybody want to go for 3? We're gonna keep it at 3 at 2. All right, cool. All right, let's move into OT. So for OT, we got Pac-12 game predictions. I'm gonna read off the game. You guys tell me who you give me a brief description of why you picked your choice, and then give me your choice. Is that cool?
That works.
All right. So we got Utah versus Baylor. Go ahead, Guns.
Yeah, so I mean Baylor's not good, so I mean Utah over Baylor. That's all I have to say.
There you go. Nice, sweet, brief description right there. Go ahead, Raul. Who you got? Utah or Baylor?
I think he's frozen.
Man,
no.
frozen. Oh, he gone.
He going.
I'll jump in.
Tyler, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll take Utah. They ran a seat starting to get hot in Waco.
Yeah, that seat's burning. It's catching fire, man. It's for sure warming up. Yep. Blackie Chan?
I'll go with Utah, but I think Baylor may try to bounce back, and I think Utah may be riding the high after their revenge win over Florida. So I think it may be a little bit closer than people may think, but because they're still on their backup quarterback who didn't really have that great of a game against Florida. So he had that one deep pass. So, until Cam Rising comes back, I don't think they'll have more of a chance to do the quarterback. So I'm still picking Utah.
Right. I'm going to go with Utah as well, but I think this game will be a little more of a challenge than they saw against Florida, man. Believe it or not. Florida's got all kind of issues over there, though. I don't know what. Yeah, Napier seat is hot, like you said, Tyler. And at the rate that they showed what they showed last week, he might not make it through the season, man. It's that bad over there, man. He's got personnel issues. I mean, I've seen players quitting in the middle of the play. So I don't know, man. They got some issues over there. But as far as Utah, man, I expect them to win, but I don't think they'll, be as. I mean, I think they will be a little more challenged this game. So in our next game, we got Nebraska and Prime, man. Colorado, it's basically just Prime because
they changed their name to
he
Prime.
gets all the hype. Yeah, the Colorado Primes.
Mm-hmm.
What you got, Gunner?
Yeah, I mean, so I got Colorado over Nebraska. I just trust Colorado's offense more. I think when it comes down to it, just that offense that I watched against Minnesota with Nebraska was horrendous. So I don't see how they can get better. But yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Prime Buffaloes too. I think they go 2-0, and the media frenzy just continues because Colorado's back now. Because they beat Nebraska and beat a really terrible TCU team. Yeah, I don't like if the game was in Nebraska, it might be a little bit of a different story because I do believe that home field advantage does play a significant role in some of these types of, these games that could, get some momentum and bounce back either direction. So taking the Prime Buffaloes.
Gotcha. Blackie Chan.
So, growing up in Colorado, this is a rivalry game. CU and Nebraska, they hate each other. Growing up there before CU played USC all the time, I would go to CU games. So, and we hated Nebraska. So, but Nebraska plays tough against CU no matter how bad they are. But other than that, other than their will, just because it's a rivalry game, I still pick CU to win. But I expect a better showing from Nebraska, just because of the rivalry game, and they're going to be able to renew it too, since they're going back to the Big 12. So, but I also think that CU against TCU was a statement game, so they could fall short for this one as well. So this could either be. I still think CU is going to have a blowout, though. It's just, it's kind of hard to pick against Prime at this point right now after what him and his son did, and his second son and his third son, Travis Hunter, did. So,
yep. Yeah. Obviously, I got the Primes as well, but I don't expect a blowout. I think that because it's a rivalry game. Like you said, Nebraska is going to play them tough. And if Nebraska can commit to the run game, I think they have a fairly good shot, man, to upset Prime and the boys, man. Because they have not yet proven that they could, stop the run. So we'll see how that goes. But I still will take Colorado over Nebraska.
TCU's defense was garbage, so I don't know if Nebraska's is better.
Everything was garbage. I mean, they're giving. TC. I mean, if we're being honest, man, Colorado's defense is not that great. I mean,
nope.
They're saying that I don't know. I've even heard analysts say that TCU put up 42 points, right?
Yeah.
I heard analysts say that, they put up 42. I mean, they held them to 42 points. I'm like, held them to 42 points? No, that was like the sloppiest, ugliest 42 I've ever seen in my life.
Who's happy to hold someone to 42 points? We held them.
I'm like,
42
you held them
points.
to 42 points? No, they were a horrible offense who scored 42 points. So I don't see where
a couple years ago, we were happy when Clancy Pendergast held anybody to 42 points.
What was the name of our group? Hold them under 40.
Yeah. Yeah. So Colorado reminds me a lot of us last year, and that's what I expect, man.
See, you know what bothers me about what the media has been doing this whole freaking time? There's Raul. Let me get him back in here. But all they have been talking about is their offense. They're like, oh, yeah, their offense is great. Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders are 1A, 1B for the Heisman and all this stuff. They're going to share the Heisman when it comes, and everyone's better than Caleb Williams, blah, blah, whatever. It's just like, why haven't they even talked about their defense? Did they not see what TCU did to their defense on the ground? They had 200 yards rushing on the ground.
Exactly.
But everyone just forget about it.
TCU's offense looked terrible. I don't care what anybody says, though. It did not look good.
It blows my mind. Last year, we were beating people in the 40s, 50s, or whatever, but everything that defense, can they hold against the better offenses or better offenses? Shut up. Why is it a different narrative for us? But then when it's CU, they're like, oh, yeah, we'll just talk about their offense this whole time and act like their defense didn't even do anything bad in that whole game. But it's just all
right, Blackie Chan, let's get off your soapbox here, man. We know you'll listen. We know you'll do this all night long. Be ranting about Joel Klatt.
They are trying to.
We'll make sure we'll make a short out of that. And we'll tag Joel Klatt in that, man. We'll make a short out of that rant.
Yeah,
I should have my own musing with Brent.
Oh God, with the music. All right, Raul, who you got, man? Nebraska, Colorado.
You know what? I'm tired of hearing of Colorado as well, so I'm gonna just go with hoping that Nebraska pulls the victory. So, kind of like like Blackie said, it's like they make it seem like Shador and Travis Hunter are like the Heisman winners already, or like at least Travis Hunter. It's like it's one game, guys. It's like let's see Travis Hunter do that throughout the season, and if he does, he definitely deserves to be out there in New York for that Heisman ceremony. But Caleb Williams definitely has something to say about that Heisman award. So I'm gonna go with Nebraska with the upset, I guess.
Okay, we got a first upset pick. Oh, great. All right, let's
My
move
heart
on.
is racing right now because I'm just so aggravated.
All right, let's move on to Tulsa versus Washington. Go ahead, Gunner. Who you got? Tulsa and Washington.
Yeah, Washington. I mean, they're playing Tulsa. That's all you really have to say. Yeah.
Go ahead, sweet. Tyler?
Yeah, I still think Washington has a really, really good offense and are not really going to have that type of challenge, and definitely not from Tulsa. It's not going to be close. It's going to be ugly really early and over early.
Yep. Bro?
Here you go.
All right. Blackie Chan.
Washington. I don't know why we're talking about that.
All right, moving forward. No, seriously, Washington by a mile. Moving forward, Oregon, Texas Tech. Who you got, Gunner?
Yeah, so I think this is the game of the year for Texas Tech, just given their loss last week with Wyoming. Obviously, they still have their conference, and they can focus on that still if they were to lose. But I think they're going to win. I think they're going to clean up the run defense. They do have an experienced DB room, which could create some confusion with Bo. And I think regardless, this is a field goal game. This is going to be really close. So yeah, Texas Tech over Oregon.
Hey, there we go. What you say, Tyler?
Damn, I thought I was going to be the only one picking Texas Tech, but those types of tight games, I give the home team all that momentum. The crowd's going to be going nuts. They're going to be doing everything they can to will those guys back into the win column. And this is Bo's first test without Kenny Dillingham. Like, it doesn't matter what they did against Portland State last week. I don't care that they put up 81. Like, I'm really sick of hearing that at this point. I think that the Oregon hype train, the Bo Nix banner in New York starts coming down because they're pretenders. I don't think they're legit.
Hey, you heard it. Raul, what you got?
Sorry about that, fellas. I'm having
good,
technical difficulties here, but I think I figured it out.
Stand in it.
I'm assuming you guys talking about the Zeros?
Yep, talking about the Zeros and Texas Tech. Who you got?
You know what? On that one, I know people are down on Texas Tech because they lost last week, but I don't know if it's just my hate towards Oregon fans, but I think I'm gonna go with another upset. Texas Tech is gonna pull it off, and from what I heard, it's crazy things happen in Lubbock. So, I think upset victory out there. It's gonna happen this upcoming Saturday.
Yep. Hey, let's go, Bucky. What you got?
So Texas Tech lost to Wyoming last week. Let's see. I don't know. That kind of soured me on Texas Tech for a little bit. I don't know if I should go against Oregon though. They lost to Wyoming though, guys. Come on. Like, I know we got Emmanuel Prayon from Wyoming and he was their best lineman, but like they put up like 338 yards through the air, Texas Tech, and they still couldn't win. I mean,
The line is 6.5, by the way, Blackie. So it's not that far fetched.
I don't care what the line says. The line lied to us against CU and TCU. So does that really even matter anymore at this point?
Well, it matters a little more just because it's week 2 and not week 1. Yeah,
Sure.
Nobody knew what to expect that one.
My heart says to go with Texas Tech, but my mind says to go with Oregon. I'm going to go with Oregon. I'd rather have them at their peak rank so we can tear them down.
Okay.
That's not allowed on this pod anymore. Give this guy the boot.
Hey, you can go join Dion and Salty, man. What's going on over here?
Like, I hate Oregon with a passion, but like, I'd rather have them be ranked high, and then we just put a hurting on them and make them wish that they weren't ranked that high to get embarrassed.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw this game on the schedule a few weeks ago, before the season started, I was like, "Oh, Oregon might be in trouble."
Yeah.
Texas Tech is going to give them all they want, man. I'm not too worried about that loss they just experienced last week. If anything, I think it's going to make them hungrier for the win, and they're going to be playing at home. So you have that. So I don't know, man. I really feel like Texas Tech can pull off the upset. Will they? I'm going to say yes, man. I'm not a believer in bozo picks. You guys know this. Like I said, that's a fool's gold quarterback with a fool's gold university. I think that was a lot of Dillingham last year. I'm not impressed by their little win against Portland State, who shouldn't have even been on the field. Like, Portland's not even state. But, but yeah, Portland State, man, had no business being on that field to begin with. And the fact that they even scored should concern them. You know what I mean? So
on their first drive.
Yeah, on their first drive.
It was concerning the Oregon fans.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to have lots of concern in Texas Tech. So I'm going to roll with Texas Tech.
See, Texas Tech did beat Texas last year. And I have a buddy that goes to Texas Tech. So, and I hope he gets to storm the field like he did against Texas last year.
No, man, you picked Oregon. I don't want to hear none of that. No backtracking.
I'm being reasonable.
You wasn't thinking about your buddy then. You wasn't thinking about your buddy 2 minutes ago, man.
Well, I like to talk. I talk shit to him all the time. He thinks that USC is trash too. So.
Oh well, F your buddy, man. Forget it.
I'm just going with my mind. My heart says a different thing.
Got you. All right. Well, they always say follow your heart, man.
Hey, exactly. I was about to say that. Sometimes you just gotta follow your heart, like come on.
So
we show no love to the zeros in this podcast.
Zero loves for the zeros.
We gotta, what we gotta do? We gotta start keeping score on who's right on certain things and see who has the best record by the end of this season.
All right, you have a whole Instagram post if you get this one right. Trust me. All right, so we got next game. We got Mississippi State.
Detroit beat Kansas City.
Yeah,
not surprised.
Thanks to Amin-Ra.
Yep, shout out to Amin-Ra, man.
So right on.
And John Brown. All right, so Arizona and Mississippi State. Guns, who you got?
Yeah, screw the SEC. So Arizona over at Mississippi State.
There it is, plain and simple.
Yeah, plain and simple. No.
Tyler?
Yeah, I'm definitely anti-SEC, but I don't think that they'll be able to pull that game out. I'd like to see another Pac-12 team win going into SEC territory, but it's just not one of the games I feel confident in. Don't really know much about Mississippi State, but I don't really have a whole lot of faith in Arizona being able to travel down into Mississippi and win a game like that. So I'll take Mississippi State.
Okay. Raul, who you got?
First of all, is that where Dillingham went, or is it Arizona State?
No, he went to Arizona State.
Arizona State.
All right. So, I mean, as much as I want Arizona to pull it off, I got to go with Mississippi State, being that they're at home. So it'll be tough to pull the W out there. But hopefully there's an upset too, right? Keep the Pac-12 strong. But, I got to go with Mississippi State.
Okay. Dr. Chan.
I'm going with Arizona. We don't know what they are without Mike Leach. I haven't watched them at all, but I know Jaden DeLora, and they have T-Mac. Their offense is crazy. They're the Wildcats, so it's definitely wild. But Jaden DeLora he's slept on by a lot of people when it comes to him being a top quarterback in the Pac-12. And so I just think that their offense is going to be too much for Mississippi State, who is pretty much at bottom of the barrel in the SEC. Like they're barely middle of the road, if anything.
Yep. I'm gonna have to agree, man. Mississippi State always does have some surprise athletes. Just being in the South period, you're gonna have some athletes. But I think Arizona is I don't think they're ready for that spread over there. I think T-Mac is gonna have a big game. DeLora, he's definitely eager to prove. I think he's eager to prove this year, because we know that he's better than what he gets credit for. And I think he's ready to show the world that, especially the SEC world, because they would doubt anything coming out from West. So I think he's ready to show them boys over there, man, how we get down over here. And I think DeLora pulls it off, man. I think he's gonna get them fits. So that being said, we'll move on to our next game, which will be the Bruins versus the San Diego State Aztecs. You got Gunner?
Yeah, I mean, as long as Dante Moore is the quarterback, FCLA is going to win this game. So, yeah, I have FUCLA.
All right. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah. Don't want to take the Bruins for anything, but I'm roll with my boy Gunner and all four of the Bruin fans going down to San Diego to watch the game this weekend. All that powder blue down there, it's going to be heavy. It's going to be really difficult to be able to watch from that one side of the field,
All right. Bro, who you got?
Unfortunately, I got to go with FUCLA as well. I think they will pull off a victory. It'll be too much. I think they'll just be the better team overall. So, which is all right. It'll help our strength of schedule at the end of the year. So,
Right. Lucky Chan?
I want to say San Diego State, but actually, you know what? No, screw it. San Diego State winning it.
You got the upset? SDSU upset?
There you go.
I don't think it's going to be an upset. San Diego State's been always good in their conference. So,
In their conference.
Yeah, but still, UCLA is our little brother, and
yeah,
I don't know, they always lose to teams that they shouldn't be losing to.
That is a fact. I'm probably go. Well, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna have to go with the Bruins as well, man. I think they just got a little too much for San Diego State over there. I think it'll be a closer game than people may think. San Diego's got some talent over there too. Keenan Christian is over there, if I'm not mistaken. He's still there.
Still there?
I think he's still there. He's got another year over there. I expect him. I think he'll have a pretty decent game. But aside from that, who knows? You guys know anything else about San Diego State? Who should know? Exactly.
I know they're going to win.
All right. Well, We'll see about that. But I mean, I'm hoping for all Pac-12 victories, honestly. But yeah, I don't see San Diego State pulling the upset. I think it'll be closer than it should be, but I don't see them making an upset. I feel like I'm missing games here, man. Have we got any other Pac-12 games?
Washington versus Wisconsin.
We went to that.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that?
Washington State, yeah, versus Wisconsin.
Yeah, we got Wisconsin, Washington
that's
State.
right. That's right.
You got Cal, Auburn, Oregon State, UC Davis, and
UC
Arizona
Davis.
State.
So yeah, let's go with the Washington State versus Wisconsin.
There you go. Guns.
Yeah, so me, Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin has crazy running game. I mean, obviously it was Buffalo, but they had two guys, I think, almost hit 200 yards each. So yeah, I just don't think Washington State's going to stop the run.
Tyler.
Yeah, pretty sure that Washington State beat Wisconsin last year, but that was not a Luke Fickell ran Wisconsin team. You know, I would like to pick Cam Ward and Washington State to win at home, but I'm going to take Wisconsin because I believe in Luke Fickell. I think that they'll ultimately pull that game out.
Bro.
I'm gonna have to go against you guys and pick Washington State and show their worth. Why the the Pac-2 is gonna survive with them. So I think they pull off the upset at home. I think they've always played us tough, so I don't see why they wouldn't play Wisconsin tough as well. So I'm gonna go with Washington State.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, another upset for you.
I agree.
Go ahead, Black and Shane.
No, I don't think it's an upset. I think Wisconsin's overrated. Like, I went over to their community a little bit, and they were panicking. They were panicking a little bit against who were they playing? I can't recall.
Buffalo.
They were panicking, and
Really?
I just think Washington State's a hard place to play. It's a very hard place to play. And Cam Ward, I think he's going to get it done through the air. And I'm calling an upset over Wisconsin just because they're ranked. But I think Washington State is a lot better than people think. They held Chevin Cordero pretty well. Granted, they had what is it called? Film on them. But Wisconsin does have a good quarterback, so Washington State's good on the run. So I'm giving it to Washington State, and I think they're going to win by 2 touchdowns.
Okay, 2 scores, huh? I too am going to go with Washington State. I think Cam Ward is going to give Wisconsin all they want. They're going to get a preview of how Pac-12 ball is played, and I don't think their defense is ready for that. I think this spread is going to eat them alive. I don't think their secondaries can handle that. I mean, if I want to say it would be close because Wisconsin does, typically have a fairly good running game, and Washington State's O-line is taking some hits. We even got a guy from them ourselves. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's hard to get a win in Pullman too, man. Just like Corvallis. Well, not as it's not as bad as Corvallis for us at least.
Right.
But I don't know if Wisconsin is ready for the Palouse, man. So with that being said, we're going to move on to our next game, which is Oregon State and UC Davis. I think this should be very quick with our answers.
Yeah,
So,
Oregon State.
Oregon State.
Yeah, all right. That was it.
Anybody even know what the mascot is for UC Davis?
Yeah, me neither.
I don't know, but I think DJ's gonna look good again.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So our next
Oregon
game,
State.
Stanford. I'm sorry, not Stanford. Where did I get Stanford from? Auburn and Cal. What you got, guys?
Yeah, so obviously I'm going to say screw the SEC, but honestly, this game is a 7:30 game, so this is going to be a 10:30 game for Auburn technically. What I also learned was that they're going to be traveling like Thursday, so they're going to be there for a while. So like, are they just going to be hanging around in the hotel the whole time and just being lethargic? So that does kind of is something to note. But yeah, so Cal over Auburn.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. Cal's at home.
Correct. Yeah, so it'd be like technically a 10
Gotcha.
p.m. game for Auburn, like
Yep.
just in there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Go ahead, Tyler.
I believe in the Freeze. Hugh Freeze gonna get it done. I'll take Auburn.
Okay. Raul, what you think?
I'm gonna go with another. I'm not even gonna call it an upset. They're at home. It's Cal. It's the Pac-12, the better conference, and they got Jaden Ott. If I'm pronouncing his name correctly, I think he's gonna run through that Auburn defense and help Cal get that W.
Okay. Go ahead, Blackie Chan.
I don't trust Cal at all. So Auburn.
So you going Auburn? That's it?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like Cal's a lot better than everyone's giving them credit for. They looked a lot better on film last week. I don't know, man. Strange things happen when SEC teams travel out west, man. Being that it's a late game, I'm gonna give the edge to Cal. Yep, slight edge to Cal, man. I don't think it'll be. I don't expect them to blow them out, but I will give them the edge. So, yep, that's gonna conclude that game. But we got Oklahoma State and Arizona State. Who you guys got for that?
Yeah, so it's going to be a shootout. Trust ASU's offense more slightly, even though they have a true freshman. The Oklahoma State quarterback last week just looked bad to me. So ASU.
Ty?
You're on mute, Tyler.
My bad. I was real short and sweet with it. I'll take ASU. I think Kenny Dillingham's doing something relatively special for, how terrible Herm Edwards was there. I think they'll actually be decent. I think they could have snuck into a bowl game this year if they didn't get a bowl ban self-imposed because of the Herm Edwards debacle. So I think this is one of the games that they'll win.
Right. Raul.
I'm gonna go with Arizona State. They're at home. They got the new coach Dillingham. Seems like he's good with producing quarterbacks. At least with Bo Nix up over there with the Zeros, he did a great job with them. And I think Rashada is the better quarterback than the other freshman quarterback at Oklahoma State. So I'm gonna have to go with Arizona State.
All right, Blackie Chan.
Does everyone realize that they almost lost to Southern Utah last week? They barely beat them 24-21.
I mean, they did have a 3-hour delay.
I don't know. Like Jaden Rashada, he's going to be good going forward. I do understand that it's a home game, but I think it's going to be. I've been picking against all of you guys pretty much all night. I'm going with Oklahoma State. It's going to be a close game, but I think Oklahoma State will pull it off.
Okay.
I just don't understand. Like Kenny Dillingham barely beat Southern Utah. So, what is Southern Utah FCS? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, pretty sure they are. Well,
it was game one jitters. That's all it was.
Exactly.
There could be a whole new staff to still learn the offense over there. I'm just not familiar with Oklahoma State at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, all I know is that we stole Cobb from. I don't know what they got left over there. So because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Pac-12 team, man. And I think Rashad is gonna have a big game. So
we stole a lot from Arizona State, so we don't know what
we
they
did.
have.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell. I mean, I know we gave him a little bit. You know, we gave him Xavier Alford. So
Yeah, we did.
yeah, we gave him Alford over there. So we'll see how that goes over there, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go with ASU, man. I think Ditham's offense will be a lot better this game than what they showed last game. If they maybe clean some things up this week. And yeah, I'm expecting a big game from Rashada, like I said. So with that,
Are we going to give score predictions for our game?
yep, that's what we're getting to. So score predictions for USC and Stanford. We'll end it with this. What you got, Gunner?
I'll do a 52-21 type of game.
Okay. What you, Tyler?
I'll say 55-16.
55-16. Okay.
Give them 3 field goals. They get down the field a little bit and get some stops.
Yeah.
Our offense continues to hum. Dennis Lynch misses a field goal or an extra point. He's too dapped up. You know, he's too much drip.
I don't know, man. He needs to step it back up. He kind of lost some points with that last one. Go ahead, Roland.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say Tyler's going to steal my score prediction. I was going to go 55-17. Kind of similar to what he mentioned. The reason why I say 55, I'm thinking Lincoln Riley's going to do a little bit more of a balanced offensive game. He doesn't want to show all his cards on the passing game, so he's going to distribute the ball to Austin Jones and Marshawn Lloyd. Get hopefully one or two 100-yard rushers, and then I think that Stanford's going to get 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
How wild is that you just said that we're going to have a more balanced offense and we're still going to put up 55? Like, that's how good our offense is. Like, yeah, we're going to run the ball more and we're still going to put up a 50-burger. Like, no big deal.
Right. What you got, Bucky Chad?
59-20. He'll get some field goals in there. We'll give Dennis Lynch a field goal so he feels like he did something.
Blackie, you picked Oregon and then shat on Dennis Lynch.
Man, what is going on?
No, I'm just saying, like, he hasn't really done anything. Has he really done?
He hasn't had
to. He doesn't have to. So, like, we gotta throw him a bone. Like, okay, we'll slow down. We'll take a third or we'll do a 4th and 5 and give you a good 34, 35-yard field goal. Make you feel good. It's not shit on him. It's just like giving him something to do rather than just like
keep him
on the sideline.
So name me Lincoln Riley's last kicker.
I don't know.
Exactly. He's a kicker at Lincoln Riley's offense, man. So
yeah.
But man, okay, he's giving Dennis Lynch the participation award. So
you guys were making it sound like I'm like shitting on him. No, I want him to do something.
Dennis Lynch is gonna hate this podcast. You know, I got him about his outfit. Now you giving him participation awards.
I mean, Dennis is asking for it about the outfit. When he's wearing the turtleneck and chain, he's asking for it.
But I think Lynch got a nice field goal last week, if I'm not mistaken. So
he did.
So like, kind of, I'm with Blackie on that. You know, give him a field goal or 2, get him ready for like whenever there's a close game. We need his services. He'll step up there, and then we'll show him all the love in the podcast.
Okay. I'm gonna go 58-26. Yeah, 58-26 is what I'm going with.
You're letting them score a lot.
I expect them to put up some points. Unfortunately, I expect us to give up at least 2 big plays. That's been our average. I don't want to see it, but I kind of expecting it at this point. So I give them that, and then I think they'll earn one, and the rest will be field goals. So that's what I'm going with, man. One last thing before we get out of here, man. Any big play predictions? What do you guys see a big play in your head right now happening? And give me who.
Pick six.
What does it look like?
Yeah, pick six. Yeah.
Pick six, Caleb Book.
Caleb. Yeah.
Zachariah Branch taking it to the house on a punt.
There you go.
Okay, bro.
I'm gonna say another Caleb Williams to Tosh Washington for like 60+ yards.
Okay. I'm gonna say a forced fumble by Rajon. And yeah, I think Zachariah gets another one. Yep, that's what I'm gonna roll with.
All right.
You know what's crazy though, guys? That I said 60+ yards to Tosh Washington. It seems like it was like any other game for you guys. The reaction you gave me, you're like, okay, I can see that. That's not a big play.
Honestly, that's how it's been for Caleb, Taj, all season. I mean, all season up to this point, man. It's like, oh yeah, they're gonna make big plays.
His yak yards are just insane.
Yep. Even that play that we didn't get to see because of the Pac-12 network, when we did get to see it, was like, oh yeah, it's just Caleb doing Caleb stuff.
Well, they say he does it all the time.
Exactly. So it's like we're starting to get numb to it, and and it's better than anything Shador did.
Shout out to the Almost Pro USC football podcast for Caleb Williams. That's
absolutely,
podcast, so
absolutely.
Go take.
You guys think Mekhi Lemon gets a touchdown this week, or what do you guys expect from the freshman this upcoming game?
I don't expect to see them unless we're blowing Stanford out. I won't say unless, I say win until we start blowing Stanford out. So
I would like to see Deuce still getting involved though, if they can. Really, I would say if that's other than Zachariah, obviously, but
I want to see Deuce with the ones. I want to see Caleb throw past the Deuce.
I want to see Deuce in the rotation. I don't know about the ones, but he's definitely
not with the one. Like I want to see him get a pass from Caleb.
I want to see him in the red zone for sure.
What are you thinking, Tyler?
Yeah, I think the reps for guys like Jacoby Lane and Mekhi Lemon are going to be few and far between. They're going to be mop-up duty guys for now. Like that lineup's just too deep in that room right now, and
literally
as much as I'd like to see those guys get their reps, it's just too much talent in one room, and when in doubt, you're going to take the more senior guys that have been there and done that. Zachariah Branch and Deuce Robinson are the exceptions to that rule because those guys are freak athletes. And that's nothing against Mekhi. It's just Mekhi is unfortunately not Zachariah Branch, and he's not Taj Washington. There's guys on the team that do similar things to what Mekhi does, and Taj Washington's a very underrated blocker for how little that dude is. And
100%.
You get that guy in space, and he helps make those plays, moderate plays to big plays. He helps make those small plays turn into moderate type plays, and those are the things that those types of guys typically take a little bit more seasoning to be able to get to. So, maybe he gets a Miller Moss type touchdown towards the end of the game, but I think he's going to be one of the guys that we're not going to be seeing as much.
I agree.
Then one crazy stat that I don't want to take credit for because someone in the group chat brought it up, but I don't know if you guys remember, there was this stat that the top 10 fastest players this past week, Deuce Robinson was number 4 in terms of speed, which is insane. He's 6'6" and being top 4.
That stride,
the whole
man.
Country, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That stride is ridiculous.
The whole country.
That's crazy.
I have a question for all you though. What do you guys think about Caleb's dad talking about on GQ?
Oh boy, I personally think that he's just letting it be known, like, hey,
Yeah.
we have, you're going to pick us anyway. So ball's in our court, and I want you to know that we know that the ball's in our court. So that's what I think about that. I think he's just
at the end of the day,
making
he doesn't have to sign with the team that drafts him. So
exactly. And I think he's just putting it out there already. Just say we know what we're doing over here, and we know our options. That's all I think that is.
Yeah, I think it'll be more of like an Eli Manning type of thing where some team's going to have to make some sort of a trade to, I mean, if it's Arizona and the whole, meme factory of Caleb Williams getting Cliff Kingsbury in his ear type of thing, telling him how dismantled and disgruntled and terrible of an organization that Arizona is. If they do end up being number one, which they have 2 chances to be number one with Houston giving them their pick, I think that he'd probably say that he didn't want to go there. And I wouldn't really blame him, because even if they took him and Marvin Harrison Jr. 1-2, there's still a whole lot of dysfunction there. Like, that team is going to be bad, very, very bad. So I don't think he comes back. I mean, there's plenty of NIL money that's out there. The guys' pockets are already deep. But I still think that a number 1 picks contract in the NFL is a very safe and secure thing. And it's not like his name, image, and likeness is going away when he goes to the show. So he'll be making plenty of money.
Absolutely.
You guys think the Raiders have a chance then?
If it was based on how pretty Jimmy Garoppolo is, then yes, they have a great chance. But no, I
know.
The Cardinals have 2 chances with how terrible the Texans are. So I'll take them as that team confidently.
Since you mentioned Marvin Harrison, he had his chance to transfer over to USC. Didn't make it happen, so he can kick rocks.
Yeah, I bet he's regretting it right now, man. After what they showed last week, I'm pretty sure that ran through his mind. I heard, I think it was Shady McCoy and Joy Taylor. What's the name of the show they got over there? Speak for Yourself or something like that?
Yeah, we already lost to Colorado. It's already over. You can
I'm sure. Well, yeah, according to them, yeah. But they were saying that you get NIL money, but it doesn't compare to NFL money, which is true. But what they're not taking into consideration is the LA factor. He's comfortably a millionaire in LA.
Yep.
At what? How old is Caleb? 21, 20? At 20 years old?
I think he's 20, yeah.
Yeah. Like, he's in no hurry to make a decision, I mean, he'll be just fine if he decided to come back. He'll be comfortable with that decision.
It's not like Arizona's getting any better to the point where they wouldn't have a very good chance of being the number 1 pick the following year.
Yeah, exactly. That's
they could just tank again.
Exactly. So
he's
I don't
21
know.
actually.
21. Well, look at that. He can drink now. So, but yeah, man, Caleb's gonna be fine regardless, man. So I don't think he's in that. The money is not gonna sway him. The NFL money. I don't take him to be that type of guy. I think he's just fine living his life at what it is right now, to where he'll be comfortable making that decision to come back, or they wouldn't even said it. That wouldn't even.
So do you guys? I'll give you guys a question here. What if he goes back to back with Heisman's and somehow SC pulls a natty? You guys think he'll come back if Arizona? You think he'll for sure forgo his senior year?
If we win a natty, he's gone.
Yeah.
If we don't sniff the playoffs, maybe he comes back.
Yeah,
if that's the case,
has a lot to do with it.
I want to see a natty this year. So we love you, Caleb, but it's got to somehow make it work. Force a trade.
Well, I'll tell you this: if we don't win a natty this year, Caleb will be coming back, and it's very likely that we'll probably have a new defensive coordinator as well.
Yep.
Going into the Big Ten, man. So I'm not putting that out there. I'm just
Jim
saying
Leonard.
it's it's a probability. That's all I'm saying.
I'll take a Jim Leonard or a Dave Aranda for Christmas this year.
Dave Aranda, though, is he really doing good at Baylor, though?
As a D coordinator, Aranda's proven.
Yeah, he was a very good D coordinator. There's a big difference between taking that step to become the head coach and have that whole responsibility. I would be jumping for joy. Like, he's in that same Jim Leonard territory for me. Like, I'd sign either one of those guys. Like, make him the highest paid defensive coordinator and watch us eat, because that's going to get the transfer portal humming, all those guys that we just kind of missed out on. And then we build a defense and Jim Leonard makes them go to work and looks night and day. Yeah, that'd be fun in the Big Ten.
Very much so. One more thing before we get out of here, man. What are you guys' thoughts on Mama Jen stepping down?
I mean, it makes sense on my end. I mean, she's got a lot going on, just with athletics. So yeah, it just kind of made sense.
Wait, I'm behind on that. What happened?
Mama Jen
She's not on the college football playoff committee anymore.
Okay. Yeah, no, not as AD.
Yeah.
He's like, wait, what? Yeah. No. But yeah, she gave up her seat.
That kind of hurts.
Playoff committee.
But I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it'll sway any decisions one way or another as far as us getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, we just got to handle business.
That's it. You know what I mean? It will be fine.
I would rather her invest her time and energy making USC athletics best out there in the nation than worrying about the college football playoff committee. Like you guys mentioned, as long as we take care of business, we should be in there every year.
And I honestly feel like, she felt more comfortable doing it because of where we stand as far as, where the direction of the program is going. So, yeah.
I think the time of NIL is something that's really, really important to her. I think the new facilities, she's got a lot of oversight there. And it's not like she can be in the room when they're talking about SC in any sort of, potential CFP scenarios. And when it moves to 12 next year, I think that committee is going to mean less and less to the point where it's going to be relatively, insignificant. Like, we shouldn't be flirting around the 10 to 12 spots. We should be comfortably in there.
I would agree. I agree with that. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up this show. Be sure to join us post-game show Sunday at 7 p.m. And we're going to give you our thoughts on how the game went. All right. So with that being said, fight on, everybody.
Fight on.
Yes. Make sure you like and subscribe before you get out of here.